Well, good morning. Today we're looking at First Timothy chapter 1 in verse number 18. If you remember, Paul had left Timothy at Ephesus and he was commanded to literally command or order others not to teach false teaching. Tremendous task because Timothy's disposition probably didn't lean to that, being timid and being getting into confrontation with men who were teaching false teaching, and this would have been challenging for him. Uh, but in First Timothy chapter 1, Paul reminds him that according to prophecy and prediction that he would be in a warfare, a fight. And so Paul says in First Timothy chapter 1, in verse number 18, I charge, I commit. Powerful words. So he's ordering and commanded Timothy and reminding him of the gospel has been committed to him. He's been entrusted with that. And so a tremendous responsibility of guarding the gospel. And so Paul goes on to say, I commit thee, thy son Timothy, according to the prophecies that went before thee, that thou mightest war the good warfare. Now I want you to think about that you might fight the good fight, that you might war the good warfare. And so when you think about war, that's not a comfortable idea. It's not an easy task. Some years ago, Bud Wilkerson, who then was the coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, a top-ranked football team in America, he was asked what contribution has collegiate football given to the physical condition or exercise of the nation. And he rather stunned the reporter by saying, absolutely none. I don't think it's contributed to the physical fitness of America at all. And he said, what I think is you got 22 players on the football field that are in desperate need of rest, and you have 50,000 spectators that need the exercise. And I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves that religion isn't a spectator sport, that there are sometimes difficult tasks to perform. And as I've already mentioned, Timothy was left in Ephesus to confront false teachers. That would have not been easy. You get right in the middle of conflict. It'd be a task that would be difficult. And I think sometimes we need to take that more seriously. And I mentioned yesterday, you'll see about confronting false teaching. And remember, that's a confronting not just an academic exercise, but you'd be dealing with these people in a very personal way. Religion isn't easy, and sometimes it's very difficult, and sometimes we're in confrontation, and sometimes we just need to stand and remind ourselves that this is a good fight. And we're not talking about bare knuckles here, but we're talking about it's a task that we ought to take very, very, very seriously. And so what Paul was saying today is that Timothy is to approach this ministry that he's been entrusted with and commanded with, and that he is to go into a battle as a soldier would. And if you've ever been into that, you completely understand the nature of this. Listen, I want you to understand the ministry and the service to God in our religion is not to be trifled with, but it's a battle, a warfare, a good fight that needs to be fight. Challenging thoughts today, but give it some thought. I'll see you tomorrow.